Hey guys, how's it going? Before the podcast starts, I do need to bring you guys up to speed with a couple of things. The main one is this was originally meant to be part two of the podcast. See, originally this podcast was supposed to be 2 episodes. It was supposed to be short, sweet. It was a bit of a pet project between ShinJay, Jax, and I that we're just working on the side. Not really a big deal necessarily. But before the second episode could come out, Void asked me if he could join in on the fun as well. And I said, why not? Now, this is shortly after episode 1 had come out. Episode 2 was still in production. Well, it's still in. We're still making it. We're making it right now, baby. It's still going on right now. Point of the matter is, we were far behind on work, and I told Void, look, it took us a while to push out episode 1. Uh, if we do this, are you ready to wait a year for your episode to be released? And he said, nah, I think I can get my team to handle it. And his team were the ones that edited the second episode. The third episode, technically, the second episode released chronologically. And I appreciate them so much for it. Now, I don't know if they want to... I don't know if I'm allowed to drop in any names. I don't even know if I'm allowed to use their anonymous names. Either way, I'm just going to say I appreciate the work, guys. Fine work. Love it. So Void and his team were able to work on episode 3 way faster than we were able to push out episode 2. That's why their episode came out first, and this one is just being released. Now with that out of the way, I do have 2 other things I want to add. Now first things first, I'm just letting you guys know right now, after this situation, after this episode, I'm done with Denox. I'm probably not going to be making any more Denox related content, with the exception of 2 things. The first one is I promised Void that after his series on Denox had concluded, we could wrap everything up with a final podcast here. That is going to be the final bit of Denox content that's going to be released on this channel. But Void's episode has to come first for that. So if I make anything, it's not going to be Denox related. I might still make videos, but they're definitely going to be different. Episode 4 is very much official. There's no workaround to that. That one is going to be made eventually. But then I also have another situation. I had promised Denox a platform. If he ever wanted to come on, give his side of the story, explain himself in any way he can to my audience, I'm still willing to host you, Denox. I had promised you a platform. Again, I promise I won't blindside you. I promise I won't have 50 fucking men hitting you with a bunch of questions. It's just going to be you and me. We can hash everything out, go through it together. But that's only if you want to. And I'll try to be objective for your sake. Honestly, the reason for this is mainly because I've grown tired of the story. I'm very uninterested at this point. Denox isn't fun when you leave him by himself. He's only fun when he's getting bullied online. And no one's been bothering him for a while. I just haven't had the energy. Jax hasn't had the energy. No one in this corner of the internet's had the energy to mess with him. And I've grown disillusioned with the entire thing. Although, if he decides to poke the bear, if he decides to come over here and rustle our feathers a bit, I guess we're going to have to get involved again in some capacity. Which is what's going to bring me to my next point and the conclusion to this introduction that's going on for way longer than I wanted it to. The anti-Noxers are very much worn out of this situation. It keeps going and going. The guy never learns his lessons. But when he disappears, when he stops bothering us, when he goes to his little corner of the internet and keeps to himself, we just don't have much to say that hasn't been already said. Now that'll bring me to the guest of this episode, Keefster. Now the initial recording for this was made around the beginning of August. It's been sitting on my hard drive, unedited. And see, a month after the initial recording, I had asked Keefster, hey, I know you're done with the Denox situation. Do you want to record maybe an outro? Your final message to this entire thing? And he said, sure, I'll do that. Now, a day after he recorded this, a day after Keefster said, no more, I'm done with this. And he's done this a couple of times. This is a cycle, see? Keefster will say he's done, pack up his bags, leave, And then immediately, maybe an hour later, it's like Denox is a censor or something. He will attempt to invade his server or invade his friend's server or just kind of gain access to some kind of personal information Keefster doesn't want him to have. And we'll find out about it immediately, and then he'll have to come back into the server. He'll have to hop back in after he left, after he excommunicated from everyone. He'll have to come back in and join and protect himself in any way he can. Now, Denox isn't really good at reading between the lines, so I'm going to give him the answers to the test so he can finally see what I'm saying. Denox, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. There have been many times. Dude, your bullshit has like a 1 month shelf life. After that 1 month, we get bored and stop. And you always come back. You always try to find some kind of way to gain access to any of our servers or try to befriend any of us you think will turn on one another or do some fucking stupid, dumb internet bullshit that we just don't have the time or the energy for anymore. I'm telling you this right now. Give it a month. Stop fucking. You could even fucking go ahead. Go post all the stupid fucking videos. Go subbot like you're doing. Who gives a shit? I really don't anymore. But give it a month. Keep doing whatever the fuck you're doing. I promise you, we will not be around to give a shit. And with that being said, here's Keefster's segment. He recorded this again when he thought he was done with the Denox situation once and for all. Kind of like I'm doing right now. Kind of like I'm doing. I'm saying that I'm leaving. Who the fuck knows? Maybe Denox will throw something at me I might have to respond to, and it'll become a situation that doesn't have to happen if he just minds his goddamn business for once. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Keefster.
Alright, so this is gonna be my actual legitimate and probably recorded opinions and thoughts on Denox Series, aka Hector Vera, as a whole. In a nutshell, I had high hopes for this man. I've met him through like-minded circumstances, not limited to more or less thinking that he is a cool guy that likes Nintendo things, a like-minded guy that loves to talk about like things that he's into and has a substantial platform. And I guess he caters to a younger crowd, and that's a little bit probably more of a surface area thing than anything. But I come to realize that he is these things in the guise of like attracting to a younger crowd, but a lot much more. I'm always the type of dude that if I was to make content creation in general, I always wanted to target the adult crowd. I never had an interest in things pertaining to younger characters, younger people. But him and his yes man seems to be into those sort of things. So generally, I could have left on his earlier antics, like perhaps around the time when Tor first surfaced or the amount of times that he's done bad. I held on to that fate foolishly because I believed that he would have learned, but obviously he hadn't. And right around the time where me and him were temporarily separated our ways, I thought he'd at least reflect, and at the time he told me he was getting help with therapists or in the rounds of doing so. Obviously, the allegation got worse, and I then learned the fact that he engaged in conversations with my cousins. And the nature of them may seem harmless to some eyes, but in reality, she was indeed uncomfortable with those conversations. So granted, that in itself would definitely not be the only reason that I prompted to leave his community. Far from it. But I left his community because he is just foolishly oblivious to this. Like, his actions has caused a lot of mayhem to the people around him, especially those that clinch onto him like a sore thumb. So my final opinion on Denox is this: he is a freaking creep through and through. And more than that, unfortunately, a lost cause. I wish, he would have just listened to the advice that me and other moderators that were working for him gave him, but he just doesn't. And for that, every little bad thing that he's, that's coming to him, he deserves the full forefront of it, wholeheartedly. So, in closing, Denox, fuck you, and everything that you stand for. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo number 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to the
Maids in Paris, Episode 3. Hi, what's up, everyone? We are back once again. With us today, we have Jaxbeef, and we have a new guest,
Ve-
Keepster.
Very special
So, how
guest.
y'all doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm mostly here just to tell like my piece of the Denox lore, so to speak. So, but yeah, I definitely have some things to say if I can think of them. But for sure, just want to just give my side of the story of how I met the guy and where we are today.
And I'll probably do a recap from my experience. Well,
The
keep it
last
short.
time in Dragon Ball Z recap. Hell yeah.
Next episode of Denox Z. Will Denox finally get his store back? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so
Holy shit.
will he stop hitting on little girls? All right. Yeah, let's hear your arc.
Oh, my story first?
Yeah.
So I met him through a mutual that I knew that had a YouTube account. He knew Nox, and I found out that both of them had a collab video. I was like, oh, do you know this guy? And he gave me contact, and then she told him to DM me, and then we started to DM each other on Facebook, and we sort of hit it off on games and stuff. Nothing like too deep until like around summer of 2020. I saw Nox was streaming like Smash Brothers, so I was like, hey, Smash Ultimate's all the rage. Found him streaming. I want to just join and play. Didn't think of nothing much of it. It's just after that, joined his server. It was really chill, welcoming. I met like some cool people that left right around his first allegations. One of them I know, she goes by the name Skunk. She was like really cool. I think it's like July-ish or something is when he had his first allegations of tour. And at the time, I was like wasn't sure what was going to be. Oh, this sounds serious, and I didn't know what to think. But I chose to defend him because he didn't seem all that bad. I obviously didn't know everything, but what reason could I have to doubt him? I was one that, such as let's do like a waifu stream. He's all about taking suggestions. So I was like, waifu stream.
The one where you Googled hentai.
Jesus.
Yeah, then I became like a regular over time, as anyone that hangs around with him would. Then later on, since we developed that kinship, I wanted to make my own podcast because it was something I had in mind even way before I met Denox. It's like, hey, you want to be my co-host? So he was for the first 21 episodes. So it's like, okay, co-host, everything was smooth selling, and then the cousin thing happened like around December-ish of 2021, and then she told me on DMs like, "Oh, hey, Keith, this happened," and then that was the time when people start to disassociate, start to leave, start to feel like Denox is not all that innocent. And around that time, before even she confessed to me, I started to have my doubts too. Like I definitely didn't want to associate with him because of all the shit that was piled up, and that's pretty much like my story of Hector or Denox himself.
Would he like hit you up like privately on DMs and stuff like that, or no?
Anytime he had something to say, or when we got closer, he would hit up on DMs. Even I would hit him on DMs whenever I had like things to say or confess. Like his degeneracy just got so more or less.
Oh shit, yeah. The Yume stuff.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't hit you up about like if he's having a bad day or if he needed help or
Yeah, he would hit me up on some favors. I don't remember off the top of my head now, but I used to mod for him. If you get into his good graces, that's enough for you to be a mod. As long as you're active, you're probably gonna be a mod. Like 9 times out of 10 for sure. Since then, like been like a wow experience. Like I've never ever experienced anything like this.
Like with Tanuki, he modded him in like a day. Tanuki just has to speak with him for a day, and he's like, "Oh, this is a trustworthy girl, like in mud."
When he was in his private server, like when all this stuff was going on, I was like hardcore defending him. I was kind of shit talking about the trolls, and I generally felt bad for him for a while. Even so, I said something like kind of heinous, but looking back, I wouldn't suspect that Tanuki would just sneak in. That was first into my mind, but knowing how lax he is, it obviously wasn't. So that's how tight his security was, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get into his server, it's very much possible. You just have to have the patience for it, I guess. But motherfucker's ship has so many leaks.
I remember like when I got my bug and stuff get exposed, I was like, oh shit. And that's when I realized how real this got. I was like, damn. And that's also when I started to sort of I wouldn't say not really trust him, but I'm like, being associated with this guy is going to bring trouble. That was my thought process. I was like, this is clearly going to be trouble if I keep associating with Denox.
Yep, that's how I felt.
What made you sort of think that he might be a decent guy, I guess, if any?
I met him because I know SSJ Goshen 4.
Oh, yeah.
And she was doing a collaboration project with him with Dragon Ball. And one of the prizes was Dragon Ball Fighters. I entered the contest and I won. But I had to go on his page to do it, like subscribe and type in. He sent it to me. Then he hit me up one day and asked if I can play with him. I was like, yeah, sure. I'll play. And then we played some games. I mean, I whooped his ass, like left and right. And after that, like he sent me a friend's request. I noticed that like he would he would message me about like girls and how I would approach them and stuff like that. Because he always like would say like he envies me because I'll go to these fighting game tournaments and take pictures, and most of them are with some of the females, but I know them and I know their boyfriends, or some of them are single, but I don't cross that path. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're my friends.
I just want to
You know?
interject real quick that I remember like when my cousin and I were on a VC with him. He admitted like he was jealous of how I had a cousin like her, and he wished he had like a girl cousin. Apparently, he might have a girl cousin, but apparently she disassociated with him like after childhood or something. I don't
I
remember.
wish I could kiss my family members. You guys are so close.
It's something like that.
Yeah, I think he has a problem with that. I guess how you call it like
Kissing
he
cousins.
no he has incest problems. He does have a sister,
Oh, he's got incense. Oh,
Right, right.
incest
they
or
say it's really
whatever,
good in Pokemon. I'm
incest or
sorry.
whatever. Sorry, I feel like that's the thing that he suffers from. That it's not just the little girls. He has that like I'm not gonna get into details, but you know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
yeah, he would hit me up and ask me advice, and I remember I'm trying to like make this quick TLDR because I don't want to waste time. So I remember one time he was asking for advice, and I was like,
Stop scaring away the hoes. There's the advice.
yeah. So I was telling him, what to do, how to approach a girl and all that. And I remember, I asked him one time, like, "Yo, where you at? What are you doing?" And he told me, "Oh, I'm here at a college." And I'm like, "Oh, did you like attend a class? Did you get out of?" Because I didn't know how old he was at the time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I figured out later, like he's around my
You
age.
didn't know he was like 48.
So yeah, so 40. That dude's like 34, I think,
No, he's
right
like
now.
59, man. He's fucking.
59.
No, no,
78.
he's I think 34, going to 35 if his birthday hasn't hit yet, which I don't know when it is. But
So when he told me that, no, I like to spend my time driving to the colleges and talk to girls, and I'm like, so
That's
you
totally
don't attend
normal
this.
and not at all weird.
So I'm like, so you don't attend this college, and you just approach random girls. I was like, that's kind of creepy.
I go up with my sign that says young females aged 21 to 18 and
21 to
under.
18, what the fuck? And under. Holy shit!
And I'm pretty sure that was like the same location he would do his Xenox advice because he was always like I mentioned to Arbiter, he would always like be under the bleachers or something like that.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's a fucking troll.
Yes, fuck. Yeah, so it's basically a runway that's attached to the college, so he's probably going there. And since it's attached to the college, obviously there's going to be college age girls there.
Tell
Yeah,
me a riddle and I will smell your feet.
Yeah, that's kind of.
hey, y'all have that voice, bro. I can't do it.
No, it's easy to learn. You just gotta practice.
But yeah, he would tell me that, and then he he would I would watch his streams, and I always tell him because I'm a streamer as well, and I always tell him like he'll always be like, okay, so we have we have this and this people watching. He's like, come on, guys, watch. And I'm like, bro, like there's times where
That's
people.
also the thing that also bugged me. Anytime I joined his streams, it was like dead chat or why are you guys not watching or how come I get all the dislikes all of a sudden?
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
whole thing is just the perception of being seen. He wants to be perceived.
So yeah, he'll always worry about that. And I tell him like, yo, bro, just focus on your streams. And then another thing too, I remember he asked me. I forgot to mention this on the last podcast, but he would mention he's like, how would I make my content better? And I'm like, stop playing freaking Mario ROM hacks. I told him,
But I
I'm
like the
like,
Mario.
and I'm like, he's like, well, I tried doing Dragon Ball Fighters with you, but I always lose, and you don't give me a chance. And I'm like, I don't care who you are. I'm not gonna go easy on you. I told him just
I
like
can
that.
guarantee you, if he were to actually win a match, the first thing he's going to do is just
Oh,
nonstop say, "Ha! You have lost. I am the
bro,
winner."
Wait,
I did that once. And that he pissed me off, and I just went AWOL on him.
Of course, he's a
Um,
sore winner.
yeah, he was like, "Oh my god, I beat him." You saw that chat? I found a way to beat him, and I was like, "Bro,
yeah,
like you were just spamming the same button over and over."
Yeah,
you said he
Smash,
was.
Smash, oh boy.
Oh, bro,
Whenever he
man.
goes as fucking Red Kirby or whatever, he down B's
Oh,
like
he did
90% of the time.
uppy, yo.
Like,
Um,
granted that he's gotten better when we were used to be cool, like right before I left him, but he's
that
like
dude was
that's like
never
90% of his move kit. If
he
it's
was
not
never
that,
too good.
if it's not that, it's like something else. And then I remember like last when I left, like he tried out like Power Myth Throw. Oh my god, rinse and repeat, same thing.
Nah, what was it? It was his birthday, right? Now
Yeah,
this is we're fast forwarding to his birthday. We'll come back to his second
yeah.
since we're talking about Smash. I remember it was his birthday, and he told me, "Hey, you want to play?" And I'm like, "Sure." Yo, first off, the connection was terrible because he was on Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
and I remember he had him and his little friends. They're like, "Yo, pick Kirby and just spam this," and I was like, "All right, whatever." So he was winning at one point, right? Because he had his friends gang up on me. On my last stock with Ganondorf, I wrecked everyone in the one, and he was like, "What the heck, guys? How did we lose?" And I'm like, "You guys are doing the same super move over and over again." And all I did was a Warlock punch you guys, and you went flying this Kirby. But anyway, back to this real quick. So after he was telling me about the whole him hitting on the college girls, um, something triggered in my head like, all right, something's not right, but I don't know where to put it. Like I can't put my finger on it. So when I go on his streams, that's when Jaxbeef and some other people will come in and start spamming feet shit. And I was like, what the hell is this shit going? What's going on with this? And again, it didn't get to me. And then when someone posted his location, I was stalking him,
Holy
and he
shit!
put the photos. He showed me the photos. He was like, "This is not right." I was at Walmart. I mean, no, I was at Burger King, and this guy at the same time sent because he was doing the live stream. He was doing the live stream, I think, on his phone that he was at the Burger King. You get what I'm saying? Like in the parking lot, and somebody during that live stream followed him, took a picture at Walmart. He went. I mean, sorry, Burger King. He went to Walmart to look for games. That's what he likes to do. You
Holy
know,
shit, Jack! Speed for
so
your dog. What the fuck?
That was not me.
that's not me. My dog don't bark like that.
Oh,
My dog's like
it,
downstairs, so it'll be impossible to hear.
no, it's Jax. It's fucking Jax, dude. Beat your dog. Holy fuck.
I don't have a dog.
Well, I'm hearing a dog barking in the background. It's not me. But anyway, shout out to the dog. Maybe that's Denox's dog that finally left his house. The dog that always terrorizes him. I don't know if you ever heard the story about his
Oh
dog.
yes. I think he posted a video about that, didn't he?
Maybe
I
that's,
remember he had like a black one.
yeah, the
No,
Chihuahua. Was it the Chihuahua or something?
Yeah, it was a Chihuahua. It
Yeah,
fucking
probably,
hated him.
probably that's the Chihuahua right now trying to get in on this podcast.
He's
It's
trying
like,
to
I
talk
got
shit.
information.
He's got stories for days.
He's like, I got stories for you guys. I hope you guys have a dog translator. I just witnessed his dad beat the shit out of him again. But anyway, sorry. So all right, real quick. So I asked him about that. I was like, yo, that's serious. And then that's when he told me about the incidents. Because here's the thing, there was this Puerto Rican website, right? Because I had friends that went to Atlantic University. I played League of Legends with them, and they would post stuff that's going on in Puerto Rico. And there was it was like a 4chan, but like for Puerto Rico. And they mentioned about an incident that happened at the Puerto Rican Comic Con, and it was involved with feet too. But I didn't know that was him. So I knew about the feet guy, the upskirt,
The feet guy.
and the pedal guy. You get what I'm saying? I heard about him, but I didn't know who it was because they didn't mention his name. Well, they didn't mention Denox. They may have mentioned Hector or something, but they didn't say Denox. I know that for a fact. They didn't mention Denox.
Yeah, at the time, so I'm familiar with the scene at the time. He would always show up either in a red hat or in a red wig, or as Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, anytime there was like a convention, you would know it's like, oh, the feet guy's here, and you
Yeah.
kind of point and laugh for a little bit, then move on. But like, he was a fucking running joke on all these conventions.
Yeah, so I read about that. So when he told me about that, it didn't click until later, right? So when I'm not saying like his clique, but I met his friends, which was like Hedge Coon, Last Cat, Coffee John, and Zach Bay. And guys, if you do hear this podcast, I do apologize if I said your name. It's no one's going to attack you guys. I know that for a fact. So don't worry. But we're not. If anything, we could
I
do
want to
about.
say, like, some of them try to warn me about him. I'm sorry. I understand now. Well, I hope we can probably reconnect someday. You guys warned me, and now I understand now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, those are. I'll tell you this before I continue. They're good people.
Yep.
They were aware of what was going on, and they also left his thing with me. They left with me because they were in my server afterwards, and
Yeah.
they hung out there. I made sure that they had a place to hang out and stuff like that. But again, good peoples. And then they're not into that stuff either. I made sure that. I made sure of that. I hung out with those guys, and I would talk to Last Cat, and I was like, "Yo, what's up with Hector?" He was like, "Oh," he would tell me in Spanish, "Oh, muchacho, bro." Like so much stuff.
What isn't wrong with him?
Yeah. And he would tell me all this stuff, and I'm over here like, yo, like, damn. He told me a bunch of stuff about people coming in and posting about the feed and about what he did. And when Dnox told me about what happened about the Comic Con, he said that he got escorted because he made someone feel uncomfortable. But he was taking pictures of the he acted like he's taking pictures of the feet, and he didn't know that the person was like 14 or 15 years old,
Holy shit!
and he got escorted out. So then, when he was talking about that, he was telling me, I don't know what the problem is about people not liking feet. And then me being me, I'm over here like, well, in China, I was a dumbass for saying that. I'm like, yo, in China, back in the day, the women used to like wrap their feet into like a freaking ball,
And
and
a little burrito, yeah.
they'll please. That's how they please the guys back in the day. He's like, really? I never knew that.
Oh no, you give him a
And
new
then
flesh.
and then boom, there you have that arc that he went to the Philippines.
Are you serious? Is that why he went?
I don't know, but it was in that same time frame. It was in that same time frame because he literally went to the Philippines like maybe a month after we had that conversation.
Holy shit! I mean, I feel like it's a stretch to say that's the reason. But like, could you imagine? Like, I got to find the feet.
Like even like Last Cat and I were talking about like what was his goal to go to the Philippines besides like meeting his so-called friends over there because they're making fun of him in this video. I don't know if you watch.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
he doesn't
bullying
have.
the fuck out of him.
They're making fun of him. They didn't want to be in the camera, and they were talking mad shit about him. That's what they called like an Uber or something to take him back to his.
But yeah, they were just sort of just saying face, not trying to be like rude in front of him. But then in actuality, they didn't really care.
But
Right.
but the funny part was I understand a little bit of what they were saying, and I swear to God that they said that they felt uncomfortable around him and that he's an idiot.
Oh, yeah. Sounds about right.
That's why. Like, if you watch it, like one of the guys didn't want to be videotaped, and you hear him say it too. he was the one talking to them when they were on the phone trying to get him back to his hotel. He was like, "Oh, and they were so nice that they offered to pay for my ride back to my hotel room." Something.
They wanted to pay to get him the hell
Why
away
does
from
it get
them.
him out of there, dude?
They
It's
wanted
like,
to get him
fuck
the
off, take this guy out of here.
They wanted to get him the fuck out of there. But yeah, so after like I said, I talked to Last Cat, and we were like, "You think he got some?"
No.
That was the first. I was like, "Yo, man, that'd be funny that he went over there to get some freaking."
But he did get like a bottle of water for really cheap, so at least he got something when he was there.
Yeah,
Oh my god, man!
he took a he
I
took a girl
remember
to
watching this
Jolly.
video, and he was like, "Data Blitz, Data Blitz." Like, oh my god, it's Data Blitz, and there's one across from in the same district.
I remember he told me that he was trying to capitalize on exposing that because supposedly nobody has, and he wanted to be one of the first or something like that. But I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure how true that is, but that's what he told me at the time.
So yeah, so trying to make this short, he was also he had to think about scalpers because the Amiibo thing back then.
Yep.
And he's like, I hate scalpers. I hate when scalpers does that. And then again, he was doing scalping as well because a lot of the stuff that he got from the Philippines, he got it for cheap, and then he was trying to resell it for more here in America.
Yeah, that's also another thing. Like when one of the few streams I was with him, he showed me like the eBay, and he would try to like buy like I don't know, 10 or 20 same copies of the same game and resell. Right?
Yeah, did you tell me, Arbiter, that he did that with Pokemon?
Oh yeah, he has like 12 copies of fucking Pokemon Moon or some shit like that, or Pokemon Sun. I don't know, but yeah, he built like the Game of Thrones shrine and Pokemon Sun copies in his room, and he's just waiting for it to.
He's gonna make so much money. His non-existent children are gonna be able to eat for years.
Yeah, his children with Charlene, right? The
Oh, sorry,
the Filipino lady.
this guy. So so yeah, so that happened, and then people will come to his server, right, and start posting stuff. He'll delete it. He said, "Don't mind that. They're just trolls or haters." And I'm like, "All right, well, whatever." So then he got attacked again, right? Someone was stalking him, and that pissed me off, you know, because they were like, he's like, "I'm watching it," but this was on his live stream, and he was scared, and he would like message me and a couple other people. And he was like, "What should I do?" And I'm like, "Yo, report it to the cops, report it to YouTube." And then he would try to get Goshen 4. And that was another thing too. He would like to leech off of her.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. The first tour defense video, I think I might have mentioned this off recorded, but she helped him on writing the script for that, or some kind of involvement, or at least from what he told me that she did,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure she did. He also did a collaboration with this one chick called Linda, aka the Gamer Girl, and shit went south with that because he would also say that her people will come and start messing with him. I'm not sure what he did to her, but it could be the obvious. I'm gonna take a guess.
We gotta
He probably asked her for freaking feed pictures or some shit like that.
we gotta message her until she tells us what the fuck happened.
And if not that, he probably admitted it that he likes speed at least, right?
yeah.
Sure.
I'm
It
joking.
had to be, but no.
Yeah, no. It's a hash.
Yeah,
it's a
Linda
hashtag
Black-
prank. We're not actually bless you
We're not-
whatever.
We're not gonna
Gotcha,
hit you
gotcha.
up or anything like that. Well,
Gotcha.
to be honest, like let her be because her content's really, really good. She worked her ass off where she's at right now. So no, let's
Yeah.
not,
No, I'm
let's
not.
worry too much about
Yeah,
her.
I'm not interested. Like I'm tapped out. I don't really want to fucking
Yeah.
dig for any
Yeah,
dirt. But
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, but yeah, he mentioned her, and he was like, "Yeah, her army of haters." I remember.
her army of haters. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even
what
know
he
she
said.
made a video on him, and I've been keeping track
No,
of this
she didn't
shit for
make a
fucking
she didn't make
ages.
She didn't make a video on him. I guess, like I said, something happened behind the scenes, and she told her community about it, and the people from her community were attacking him from what he said.
Oh.
That's coming out of what he said.
His way of thinking is the funniest part. It's like, why do the girls? Why did they leave me? All I try to do is talk to them and tell them, show me your feet.
So
Then they run away.
so around that time when that happened, that's when also the whatever the freaking Vic stuff. I can't pronounce his last name,
Yeah.
but the Vic stuff, and he made that video that he stands with Vic, and that shit got like a big ass backlash that he deleted it. But I think it was Jaxbeef that found the video and re-uploaded it and sent it to me
Oh
through a
no.
mega file.
Oh no. I re-uploaded it. Jaxbeef did send it to you though.
Yeah, so then that's when I watched it, and that right there was when I cut ties with him after that video because the mask is like a lot of like Tor made that video, but those accusations about him doing what he was doing, it was going on, but it didn't make a big impact like how Tor did it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was going on. It was there.
It was
That's
like
when
beginning stages, more or less.
yeah, this was like around 2019. Because the tour thing happened when the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
So in 2020 was when tour came to life. The tour arc was in 2020. So I left. I was like, yo, I'm sorry. You know, you guys want to support that? Como mierda, that piece of crap. You guys can do that. And then Last Cat and all those guys, they left the server. They left the server because I remember Coffee John went off on him. I cursed them out and all that. And I remember Dinox was like, yo, what's up with that guy? Why did he do that? He's like, you know why he did that. And then what was it? It was Ekbe and Dinox happened to come in. But again, when he came to his house, they just knew about the feet stuff. They didn't know about the P word stuff, you know?
Right.
So in a way they were grossed out by it, but it was like, you can hang with us, you know? Type of shit.
It's just a weird fetish, but it's okay. You're not really a P word, but then
Yeah. I mean, it's like some people are into weird shit, but like as long as it's
Yeah.
consensual, who gives a shit?
yeah.
So then he would talk like, oh, talk to him, tell him to unblock me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna unblock you. You know what you did.
You have betrayed me.
You betrayed me.
One day I was like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning. I'm like up and I grab my phone and I'm like, man, let me see what this motherfucker's up to. Let me see how he's doing. And then I type in his name and then all I see is allegations, 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 allegations. I was like, what the hell? I was like, finally somebody's exposing this dude. And then that's when I started watching his videos and I started becoming a fan. And I did, comment one time. I was like, yo, man, I got to talk to you. But the thing was, I was busy, so I never had a chance to speak with Tor. But now, I'm here now talking to Arbiter, but I never had a chance to talk to Tor about.
I still have his Discord handle if you want it. If you want to speak with him, he's retired, but he'll shoot the shit.
I remember like when I used to be still chummy with Dino, because I used to be afraid of Tor, right? He actually, when I was active in my Persona server, he actually visited because I promoted my Persona server to Dinox's main channel at the time, main server at the time, and I was like, what the fuck? That was another thing worth mentioning. Oh yeah, another thing that I just remember is
What's up?
not only would he talk about it, he would even roleplay as Tor. I think that we can say that for another time, but
He would roleplay as us. He'd have like a Jaxbeef persona and a Arbiter persona, a fucking Tanuki persona.
That's new to me. I didn't hear about that.
I wonder how accurate those were.
He would roleplay as like us and call himself a pedophile. It was fucking nuts.
yeah, and on top of that, like recently through one of Arbiter's screenshots, he even RP as like me and Edna because we were not a part of the circle anymore at the time, obviously. The roleplay as us is like try to pretend to be us. It's like, oh, sis or whatever.
You're telling me that he basically pulled an O.J. Simpson. Like, you remember how he got caught?
Yeah.
And he wrote, "What if I did it?"
The book.
And that's when they put him in jail. Because in that book, he basically admitted that he did what he did.
Yeah, it's a if I did it, how I do it, something like that.
So from what I'm hearing, he basically confessed that he did that. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't read the book, but yeah, I mean,
No,
maybe
I'm
it's
just saying Dinox basically confessed.
Yeah, here's like a line of this is like something he says a lot, right? He says this shit all the time. He's like, there might be, there are worse predators out there than me. Why are you guys worrying about me? Like, he basically admits to himself that he's a predator by saying that. Because he's not saying he's not a predator. He's just saying, oh, but there are worse predators out there. Why are you worrying about, Denox when there's O.J. Simpson out there? Yeah, it's like, it's never, I'm not a predator. It's always, there are just worse predators out there, though. Why the fuck are you focusing on me, Denox series?
I am simply talking to girls asking for pictures of their body parts.
So he basically admitted it.
Yeah, Keith, tell us, regale us a tale of all the times he made you guys like his videos because the dislike trolls were disliking his shit.
Yeah, like this, like that. I'm gonna put this top 10 video. Oh, I'm gonna have this person record Velvet Crow for this, or it's like constant self promotion. He did it in Sankuzo's like Discord or something. Like he would self promote his stuff in other people's servers. Oh, come watch my shit, please. Give me a like, something like that.
Please help me own the trolls, guys.
Guys, they have to pwn the trolls, epic style. Like my videos, and we will get them very good. They will be so miffed when they see that I have more likes than dislikes.
I mean, that's really what he's doing on the other channel he's doing now. That's like the main description of the channel. It's like, if I get enough likes and follows, we will break out into the darkness. Like this is some sort of anime shit.
Yeah, it's like he was put there for fucking with kids, and he's like, guys, come on, like my videos. I have to escape the prison.
Is he still uploading on freaking
No.
Oh no, he's on an indefinite hiatus. I don't know if I told you, but like he made a defense video. We basically did like a fucking sting operation to steal it before he could post it. So we had like a response whipped up before the video's even out. Like it's not even out yet technically. Joe the cock uploaded it somewhere on BitChute, and I don't know who Joe the cock is, but he's a good friend of the show.
Nice.
Yeah, he's archiving Denox's. Well, I don't think he's posted anything in a while, but he was archiving Denox's videos on BitChute. The funny ones, anyway, like the ones where he drives to his house unedited.
I gotta watch that one.
Fuck, I'll send it to you later. But like, yeah, this motherfucker, like, legitimately, basically, he has two videos where he films every road that leads to his house, right? And if you should have basic knowledge of the area, keep in mind he lives next to a very, very popular beach where he lives, right? Like that's one of the top like 3 beaches in his town out of like 5, I guess. And like if you have any basic knowledge of the beach, you like know where he fucking lives because he films everything. Yeah, it's something. I don't condone doxing, but I condone idiots driving to their house on video. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know I got more to say, but like I said, I'm just trying to keep it short. Just pretty much just talk about the key. The more impactful stuff and stuff like that.
The key components, let's see.
Yeah, he was like telling me that his one friend Samsoke or whatever the hell he goes by.
Okay, I can actually say this because like everything is basically done.
Yeah.
So like Void he had kind of this facade. He pretended to be like an Uber hacker, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I'm a programmer. I built this program to spy on you, Denox. I could see everything you do. Like, and he edited like fucking Windows, fucking MS Paint pictures of like what the software looked like. And Denox was like, oh no, he's spying on me. He knows what I am doing every day. And like he used a picture. Apparently, like Denox turned his camera on during a call. And he took a screenshot of it, and he put it in the fake software. And he's like, "Oh, he can see my camera? Oh no, he knows what I look like naked." right? But it was all bullshit. It was all smoke and mirrors. And the guy basically Boy told him a while ago, like, "Dude, I'm not a hacker. You're just really fucking bad at keeping people away from your Discord. Like, you invite everyone on there, you mod everyone. We see everything because you're a fucking dumbass and you only have yourself to blame." And he's like, "No, I am not dumb. You are just a hacker, a super hacker." It was just funny. Like, he straight up told him, like, "No, dude, you're just fucking stupid." That's the whole thing.
And to think, I was his one and only customer on. Well, maybe not one his only, but one of his most prominent customers on Fiverr to make me a Discord server. Because at the time I didn't know his shady shit, and then he made me the Persona server, and it's like, dang. And ironically, it's because of him that I kind of know Discord a little bit more, or at the very least, I kind of know how to kind of make a template
Discord.
Wait, Keith, you telling me the fucking Persona server? Is that the one we're on right now? Or holy shit, Jax, kill your dog for like 5 goddamn seconds, bro.
The one with the Phantom, the one with the red Phantom Thief icon, yeah, that he made that one for me.
Oh, the one you abandoned. Okay.
Not the one that.
Gotcha. All right, because like, dude, it'd be like the pet cemetery, you know? We'd be like on cursed Native American grounds. We'd have to leave. If Denox made it, I mean, if he crafted it. Yo, Jax, all right. I guess Jax is busy handling his dog. Yeah, rest in peace, Jax. I'm sorry, man, but like, you gotta fucking.
Like, I also want to say, like, despite him being like heinous, he had good people in his corner. Like, I actually still like Hedgecoon. Like, he seemed like a really like smart dude. He's just sort of like asking for advice. Like, at least at the time when I was hanging with his confidants, like. Oh man, and I think he tried to warn him on a couple of things too, and I took his advice or something.
I know, like whenever he goes to a convention, Denox, he always takes like a bodyguard with him. You guys ever notice that? He takes it for, I think it's Bubba Neko. No, is it Bubba Neko? I don't know. Jax, you know who it is?
I'm pretty sure that it is actually Hedgecoon.
Holy shit, Jack, your dog is still fucking barking.
Yeah,
There's nothing I can do about that.
Oh, man.
Okay, here's a question if you guys probably know his current status. Is he still friends with Hedgecoon or no?
Okay.
From what I asked Last Cat, he like disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right, because Hedgecoon is always that smart guy, so I don't think any reasonable person would stick around with him for too long,
That dog's like,
This is fucking insane, dude.
Put me in the call.
Come on, just hear me out. I have a really good reason why I used to bark at Denox all the time. I can't believe he made a whole ass video where he like, it was like was it a video or was it like a bit for a video where he's like, this is my dog, he fucking hates me. I don't know why. Like I can't picture, coming home and having like a guard dog that hates my fucking ass, dude. Like I come home and they try to mangle me, I'd just move. I'd leave the country. I'd be so upset. Like, what the fuck did he do to that dog?
Another thing I noticed is like any red flags is like, now I think about it, anytime Latios would distance himself from him, it's like I treat it as a red flag. And there came a point in time where Latios even had to like block some of us because of how bad Neox's allegations would just reach him. And at the time I was confused. I was like, why would he block me? I was like, and then it made sense when he told me why.
Man, Latios was a fucking savage, though. Whenever Denox would beg for likes, he would, like, give him a dislike on purpose. Like, keep in mind, this is, like, when they were friends. He would be like, guys, look, I have so many dislikes. Please give me likes. And Latios would be like, fuck you, dude. Give him a fucking slap a dislike on his videos. Jax, did your fucking dog stop?
The deed is done.
Holy shit.
The deed is done.
It's over. It's done.
Let's not have Peter come in on this podcast now.
Don't worry. I live next to the pet cemetery. We'll be good.
Is there anything else? Or 'cause I think we pretty much got like the key points. Even though like some of my stuff, I just basically just dissect like.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rehash, along with a couple of things Keefster had to say.
I think like it's also just telling like the people that left, like it was kind of gradual. It was like I remember some highlights. It was like shoot, I forgot one of the people that was like into the gacha community, but she was like really like sweet. Then she left him. And then it was like Ruby Rogers was like another person I used to play Smash with. He left. Then it was like shoot.
When I was in his server, it wasn't like that bad. It got worse when he came into the picture.
It just got worse and worse. And then at some point in time, I just had to just disassociate with him because I didn't want to get my name or anything dragged into the mud. Even if I were to ally with him, it just seems really risky to do that. And then even Edna, like a 3 days after I left, Edna joined me short. We just couldn't help this guy anymore because number one, he wouldn't listen to us. Number two, he just wanted to save his own skin when this shit was going on anyways.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit about nobody. only himself.
Keith, did anyone ever tell him, like, bro, just fucking, just stop talking to kids. It's very easy.
Many times, like I'm not sure if you guys know who Boreas or Gamer Shade.
Sounds familiar,
He,
but
he
yeah.
was like one of the last few people on his little thing that was really level-headed and mature, and we even talked about like whole shit. Like he even told him really good advice. He even warned him about the Tanuki stuff. And did he ever listen? Of course not. Of course not.
Like, bro, all you gotta do is stop talking to kids. That's it. It's a non-action. You gotta do is a non-action. You're good.
But it is difficult.
Even associates, like, why the fuck would they minors? Like, what the fuck? Like most role players that I come across, like I roleplay for as a hobby. They even say in their bios, it's like, if you're a minor, we're not interacting. Like somehow obviously he's not experienced in any of those things, so of course none of that's gonna like apply to him. But Jesus fucking Christ! Like when I read like the Yume stuff, like when they were showing like the slave shit, like that actually made my stomach churn. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, the Yume shit was really fucking weird, right? Because like I've said this before. So when the Yume role plays, Yume was an adult, right? She was over 18. The situation was we never had like a clear view of what Denox was doing behind the scenes with the kids, right? And when the Yume shit popped up, that's like, the first instance of like sexual interactions he's had publicly. Not publicly, but like made public. And you could really paint a picture. Like, this is the shit Aquali was saying. This is like the exact shit she accused him of right here with the Yume shit. And you could,
Yeah, and it just lines up. And then even though my cousin was like the least of all those, the way that he was talking to her just made her feel uncomfortable. Like I want to say that for the record. Like it's not even the fact that he was, trying to hit on her or anything. It's like the way he phrased his words it's very off-putting. And it's not just something you would say to someone's like relative.
Yeah.
It's like it's just weird to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the guy can't really interact with women. Like it's first thing he says, "How are you? My name is Denox." Second thing, "Hey, I like feet. Can I see yours?" Like very quick. He has no self-control. It's just like introduction. Let me take your shoes off, please, ma'am.
Yep.
Not even a joke. It's just.
That's the reality, yeah.
Well, last thing I want to say while I can think of it, like last time we sort of talked to each other on like a normal basis was he told me that like a new girl moved into his area. Now he told me that when he tried to make a move on her, like she would tell him like, "Oh, we could meet, we could go on some dates or something," like. But she always like puts him off every now and again. And I think I know one of the obvious reasons why she did so. So
That's really sad. I mean, for the girl. Anyway, ShinJay, real quick question. Okay, I kind of want to cap with this, if I may.
What's up?
Okay, so you don't have to answer this, right? Want to keep your personal life, your private life private and all that. But like, are you a father, or do you have like a fatherly relationship with anyone that you could say like, oh, I would see this person as a son or daughter?
Oh yeah, like my brothers and sisters, of course.
Okay, well, close enough, I guess. I want to put this down. So I've told Enoch this a couple of times, and he never fucking seems to take it serious. But I've told him countless times, you keep messing with kids, eventually their parents are gonna get, they're gonna get involved, and they're gonna kick the shit out of you. And whenever I bring this up, he's usually like, "How dare you bring the kids' parents into this?" It's like, no, you brought the kids' parents into this when you started talking to their child, and he doesn't.
That comment of yours reminds me of something like I remember he shared a screenshot to me and Edna that one of his own cousins was threatening to beat him up.
Yeah.
Because of shit that was going on.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Like his own family.
I'll do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what I was getting at. Like, he doesn't seem to believe that a parent would beat him to death if they found out he was doing this to a child. And my question would be, like, if you were in this position, you were the dad, would you beat the shit out of Denox until he died?
Oh, not until he died.
I mean, holy shit. I mean, but could you see it, though? Could you see a father maybe doing that? Maybe taking a gun out and,
Yeah, because how shit is right now, man, people are crazy, man. People are crazy.
What about you, Keith? Is that out of the realm of possibility for a father to do that to protect their child?
Let's just pretend somehow I'm a cute girl. I meet his criteria, and my dad finds out. Not only he would just beat the shit out of him. My dad's a lawyer. He would sue his ass.
Holy shit.
He would honestly sue his ass, or if he would get his friends that know the type of law that they specialize in, just to book him more or less.
You should have gotten Dinox to send you some Bitcoin so you could have gotten your dad on the case. Holy shit.
What you said, Bitcoin?
Yeah, that's all Dinox owns, right? I mean, he doesn't own anything anymore. Bitcoin crashed. He's poor, but...
The fact of the matter is, he did this shit to one of my closest cousins, or at least, like, we're not as bad as the other victims of his, but it was enough for me to piss me off, and it was enough for me to betray him. Like, yeah, I would betray him anyways with the Yumi shit, but that was enough to set me off.
Shit. That's fair.
That was enough to set me off.
Jax, do you have any closing statements, anything you want to say?
I'm glad he's dead, and I hope he burns in hell.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on?